And as results continue coming in tonight, several candidates on both the Republican and Democratic sides were declared winners, while other races could be headed to a runoff election.
And let's bring back in another of our East Texas political experts, Dr. Ken Wink with UT Tyler. Dr. Wink, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
And Dr. Wink, a couple of races have been called, like Governor Greg Abbott for the Republican Party, Gina Hinojosa for the Democratic side, and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick winning his nomination. So far, did any of these races surprise you?
Well, those three that you just mentioned did not surprise me. To me, the biggest surprise was in the Democratic Senate race. Crockett was doing very well in polling a couple of weeks ago, and the trend seems to have changed in recent days. I think the National Democratic Party did get involved in that race, and they made the decision that basically Tallarico had the best chance of winning in the general election, and money was poured in. I don't know if people followed the Stephen Colbert incident, where he did interview Tallarico, but did not interview Crockett, and that's sort of where we are. And I think Dr. Barnett's point earlier that Hispanics seem to have, in the last days, joined the Tallarico side is a very good one as well.
And Dr. Wink, just into our newsroom, we're hearing for the Attorney General race, Mays Middleton and Chip Roy are going to be running into a runoff. That's another race that we've also been following. What is your reaction to that?
I'm not surprised that that went into a runoff. I predicted that would be the case in the Republican AG race and also for the Republican Senate seat. I have been surprised, however, by Mays Middleton, the size of his lead going into the runoff primary. I expected that to be very close, but he's really tapped into something. I think his advertisements were very effective.
And Dr. Wink, let's talk about just the voter turnout and just how many people. I know we had the early voting. We had 2 weeks for people to head to the polls. They surely, as we've been reporting, a lot of people have been, showing up. What is your response to that? And just the voter turnout and what we've seen so far with the races?
Right. I was a little bit surprised by the Democratic turnout in the early voting. It's much higher than it typically is. And then typically what happens is Republicans sort of really turn out on election day. But if you look at the number of votes that are cast in these major statewide races, the number of votes cast for Democratic candidates in those primaries, which were mostly contested, by the way, are very large. And that tells me that it should give hope to Democrats in November. It also should be a wake-up call for Republicans that they got to get their act together.
And what do you think are some key races you think people at home should be following tonight?
Well, of course, the Senate races and the AG races, I think, are the big ones in my mind. I'm not surprised at all by the governor's races. Those are very predictable. I will say this, Dr. Barrett was correct that most people had Paxton running first, but I must say that the UT Tyler poll that we did a couple of weeks ago, we were the only polling firm that had Cornyn actually outperforming Paxton. And so we expected that to be close.
All righty, Dr. Wink, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your insight. We'll be right back.